following is a presentation of Muddy River News.
Welcome to the Abbey, a Quincy tradition. With 6 big screens, a new larger kitchen, and now more seating capacity, the Abbey is the place to be before, during, and after the big game. Come enjoy fan favorite appetizers, steaks, burgers, and a variety of daily food and drink specials. Can't join us? Carryout is available too. Now with a convenient drive-up window to better serve you. 1736 Spring in Quincy. Opens at 3 p.m. Tuesday through Sunday. Come join all your friends at the Abbey, a Quincy tradition. Hey everybody, welcome to the Daily Muddy. I'm Ashley Conrad, and today I have the pleasure of speaking with Dr. Matthew Osborne. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good. Thank you for joining us.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, so when I was doing kind of my research on what we're chatting about today, I went down in so many rabbit holes because it's very, very interesting to me what Culver Stockton is doing, and I'll let you kind of just give a quick background, but I wish I would have had it when I was going through high school. So you go ahead and give us just a quick snapshot of what it is that you are offering.
Sure, I'd be glad to. So a little bit of context, a little bit of background.
Absolutely.
Charles and Fabiola Mormon started a business in this area back in 1900.
Okay.
And that business lasted until 1997 when it was purchased by another business in town called ADM. Mm-hmm. It was the Charles Mormon and Fabiola Mormon, and they had a manufacturing company that worked with agriculture, feed, and they developed multiple products over those number of years and became incredibly successful and wanted to share their wealth. And so they started a foundation. That foundation today is called CFM, Charles Fabiola Mormon Foundation, and it provides grants to institutions or to communities in order to promote a free market society. And so there are really 3 pillars in the Mormon Foundation. It is ethical leadership, it is civic engagement or understanding democracy, and it's about really developing an economic viewpoint of a free market society.
Okay.
So I was selected to be the Mormon professor at Culver Stockton College.
Yes, I was going to say it is Culver Stockton. I meant to mention that, but you are a professor with Culver Stockton.
I am.
And when I heard Mormon, I thought immediately the religion,
Of
right?
course, right. And so, we in Quincy, we have the Mormon Park.
Yes.
Moorman.
Yes.
And so, no, it's nothing to do with the religion. It is through Culver Stockton College, which is a DOC organization. But the bottom line is that CFM gave us a grant about 2 years ago now, and I was chosen to be the professor that managed that grant.
Okay.
And my whole job in relationship to that is to develop programs. And one of my wild hair ideas was to develop a high school program or a high school summer camp.
Yeah.
And that's what we're here to talk about.
That's so awesome. Yeah, so it's called the Fabiola Leadership Academy, put on through Culver Stockton College and you, since this is your brainchild, which I love, and Fabiola, of course, Fabiola Mormon. So you've dedicated this program to Fabiola, right? You
absolutely did, and we think she was a phenomenal woman of leadership who cared passionately about students and about educational institutions.
Yeah.
And she showed that with her pocketbook.
That's amazing. And we all need funds, right, to make our dreams come true. So, of course, very generous of Fabiola, and awesome that you have named this academy, this program, after her. So the Leadership Academy is aimed at high school students, 9th grade through 12th, correct?
Yes, going into 9th grade through 12th.
Okay. And it kind of gives them, so when I was looking at this, it's again, I mentioned that it's something I wish I had when I was going through high school, because I found myself out of college going into like a corporate environment. And I think having a foundation that it sounds like this is going to create just kind of gives you a little bit of awareness about how to be your best self when it comes to leadership, when it comes to ethical decision making, when it comes to leading by example.
Yes.
And when I mentioned earlier that I think every citizen, at least in Quincy, should take this, we should have some kind of academy such as this, because I think it just gives you almost like the basic kind of fundamentals for being a good person, a good leader, a good, just a good citizen, especially, even alone, but also, more substantially in a group setting.
Yes.
So run us through, okay, so this academy is, it's during the summer, which is nice because it gives more people the chance to go. Again, it's aimed 9th to 12th grade, going into 9th grade through 12th grade, and it is June 12th through the 16th. So it's not, it's not a super extensive academy, but it seems like it'll be just enough amount of time to get people kind of immersed in what this academy is aiming to do. So can you give us just a quick idea of what a typical day will look like during this academy?
Well, sure.
Okay.
And before I go there, I just wanted to say that I think that the reason we wanted to appeal to high school students is because we're working with college students every day.
Right.
But we wanted to try to go deeper into the community and try to attract younger students to start thinking about this sooner in life.
Yes.
And so a typical day would be students are going to stay on campus during the week, and so they'll have a dormitory.
Very
and
cool.
So they'll get a feeling for what dorm life is like a little earlier.
Yeah.
And so they'll wake up and they'll most likely go to the cafeteria for breakfast, and then we will break up into teams and have some team activities. And then we will follow that up with a series of meeting with different professors to discuss different types of career directions, and we're a liberal arts institution, so we can do anything from business to psychology to history to
run the gamut.
But there are careers in all those areas, and so we want to expose the students to start thinking about who am I and what are my passions and how can I apply my skills to those passions and be the type of person I want it to be.
Right.
And in doing so, we want to introduce them to community leaders. We want to get them out into community service. So every student will have a chance to log 15 hours of community service during that week of time.
Yeah.
We'll have pitch competitions to where they can earn monetary prizes.
Oh, like pitching a business or pitching an idea?
Pitching an idea.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so just kind of getting them to use their creativity, because it's a combination of critical thinking, an ethical lens, if you will, into how I'm going to live my life, but also with that creativity coming up with ideas that can solve problems in our community.
That's awesome.
So we'll have different things like that, and then there'll be activities, both sports or craft-related activities. So people who aren't real sports-minded can say, okay, I'm not going to go that direction. I'm going to come over here and do something with Leatherworks or whatever it is that we do. And so, and then we'll have opportunities for them to, like I said, meet with community leaders and explore different careers. So we're going to house them, we're going to feed them, we're going to educate them, and we're going to entertain them and stretch their minds.
That sounds, I'm so sad I'm too old. But anyway, okay. So the exposure alone to kind of college life is so cool. And I think the things that you're going to expose these kids to, it's all stuff that I find myself saying, oh, I wish they would have taught this in high school rather than parallelograms, or you know what I mean? Like, I wish they would have given us real life exposure to things that we're actually going to need. And I'm not saying all of high school was a bust. It definitely wasn't. But these are things that I think are, they're instrumental in developing, younger minds, especially. I mean, you said, of course, you're immersed in college life day to day, but high school students are just as, open. Like they're ready to develop those skills. So that's so cool. And I think the college experience is going to make it that much more interesting to them. Yes,
I think so too. And the interesting thing is one of the things they don't teach in college is ethical decision making.
Yeah.
And there is literally a process that can be used to help you slow down and rationally make decisions, and then take into consideration the bigger picture of the community and the people that are affected by that decision.
Right.
And so we'll be teaching things like 3 different types of decision making. There's rational, non-rational, and irrational decision making. Well, and students usually aren't exposed to those kind of things in high school.
Right.
So we want to start that foundation earlier, and then they can they're still forming their worldview while they're in high school.
Yes.
And so we want to encourage them to understand how to do that.
Right.
It's a combination of our environment, the family we grow up in, maybe our church, maybe the organizations that we participate in, and all of those help form our worldview. And so we want students to spend some time thinking about their worldview. But not only that, learning how to work with each other. So teamwork is a very big part of this. And then finally, learning how to see themselves as a bigger part of a community. So getting out into the community. So maybe coming to the Horizons Soup Kitchen
pantry.
and serving, and doing some things in the Canton area that are really need to be done, but we don't have the manpower to
Right.
do them. Those type of things.
Yeah, that's great. So learning, but then giving back and doing so responsibly. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, quite honestly, we'd be honored if you wanted to come and be one of our guest speakers, because we're looking for students to see what are some of those career paths I could take in media.
Sure.
How is this media different from other media?
Oh, that's so
And
cool.
so, you know, keep that in mind.
Well, yeah. Well, that is very humbling. Yes. Of course, I would love to come. Bob would probably be better, but I'm not going to hook him. He's not in the office today, so I won't get him on the hook for that yet. Yeah. But I would love to. I think it sounds so neat, and I think this is just really, really great. It's a great endeavor for you to take on, and I appreciate you doing it. I mean, again, if this were available when I would love something like this. So I'm hoping people take advantage of it.
Well, Ashley, one of the things I want to encourage is that the cost for the entire week is $100.
Oh, wow.
So we had long conversations about this.
Yeah.
And because of the generosity of the Mormon Foundation, we have funds, and we didn't want anyone to not come because of finance.
Right.
And so we even say it's $100, and there are limited scholarships available.
Scholarships.
And so if a student if a child can't even afford $100, they can let me know, and we can have them write us a little note.
That's so
We'll
great.
take a look at it. And we just don't want money to be a barrier.
Right.
And because of this grant, we can do that.
That's so great. That's amazing. And it does include food and, right, it includes, so you said housing and food. And entertainment. And
curriculum.
Education.
And exposure. And
Yeah.
all those things.
That sounds like a hell of a week. Yeah.
It should be.
Yeah, that's amazing. And how can people reach out to sign up?
Well, they can go to culver.edu
Okay.
/Fabiola.
Okay.
Now, Fabiola is spelled Fabiola.
Perfect.
Fabiola.
Excellent.
Just like it sounds. And if they go there, they can get to our website. They can see all these details that we've talked about today. There's an application process. We've set a deadline for April 1st.
Okay.
That just gives us an idea of the interest
Sure.
in the area, and then we can expand that a little bit if we need to.
Perfect. Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you, and this sounds like it's going to be a huge hit, and I hope it goes over well for your
Well,
first
thank
year.
you for having me here today.
Absolutely.
And giving your viewers an opportunity to hear about it.
Absolutely.
Ashley.
Glad to share.
All right.
All right. Coming up, Coffee Talk with Britt B. and Ash C. We'll see you then.
Are you looking for the perfect venue for your next special event? Check out Utopia Event Center.
Utopia has a large banquet room and an awesome bar area, perfect for anything from birthday parties to formal corporate meetings. It also offers a photo booth, stage for a DJ or a live band, and a fully stocked bar, all for only $300. Check us out at utopiaeventcenter.com or call Barn at 217-430-6559 for more information. Utopia Event Center, 900 North 12th Street in Quincy. And welcome back. It's time for Coffee Talk.
Coffee talk.
Okay, quick tip. Don't stare at the light,
No
Britt.
kidding. I'm like, whoa.
She's like, that light sure is bright. I'm like, well, maybe it's because you're staring at
Yeah.
it. Well, you know,
Now
it
I'm
is.
seeing stars.
Yeah. Maybe it's just me. Oh, no, I'm kidding. Okay.
Ba-da, boom.
You're right. So yesterday, I'll just give a quick, just a precursor to whatever it is we're about to talk about. Yesterday, we were like, what are we going to talk about? And I was like, well, Bob's away. So we can pretty much talk about whatever we want.
Yeah, you had a list.
I had a whole list, and I was like, okay, I think that's it. And then, of course, I had to add on a couple more because I text like I think, so everything's in bubbles.
Yes.
Like it's not just one
I was
solid.
working at the time, and I mean, I was seeing stars too, so
Sorry about that.
it was fine.
I'm seeing gnats. Is that normal for this time of year? I guess it's a good sign because it is kind of warmer.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw a fly on the window the other day, and I don't think I
Nice.
was ever like happy.
So
about
happy?
that. Yeah. It seems like it was a long winter, but it was. You know,
It really has. We've been spoiled rotten. I mean, I don't think I've seen a winter this tolerable
Yeah.
in a while. That being said, I've said multiple times, I don't think we're done yet. I think Mother Nature is like dangling the carrot, and then as soon as you get it, we're going to get pummeled with snow.
Okay.
I'm hoping not, but that's just me. I'm trying to be a little more realistic in my. I try to be optimistic a
Yeah.
lot of times, but I'm trying to be a little more realistic.
Right now we're in the middle of spring break.
Yeah.
So, like, it doesn't seem like winter because it's spring, you know. Spring
Is it
break.
actually spring?
It's not.
When is
not by the
spring?
calendar year. I
20th?
think it's the end of March.
Okay.
I
All right.
believe.
But spring break is in full force at the Conrad House.
And
yeah.
we call it House Gray Bluff since we have three
Perfect.
different last names.
I
But
love it.
At House Gray Bluff, we are bored out of our gorditas.
Oh, so
right
are
now.
we. So are we. My girls, they, right now they're cleaning or supposed to be, but they just want to go spend money. Everything they do is so expensive. I'm like, do you guys understand that I am going to go broke in this 1 week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand it. It is going to happen. I mean, it's going to happen for me. That's all there is to do. I feel like sometimes is to
Go spend money.
Or, I mean, that's right now he went to take her to go get smoothies.
Yeah.
And they also went to the pet store to pick up things for their
nice.
animals. But,
Yeah.
spending more money.
It is. Yeah, everyone would go.
things to do.
And they're like, we're hungry. I'm like, we just spent so much money on food, but yeah, let me stop at Subway. And
Yeah. So at the end of spring break, though, we do get another thing to look forward to that brings us closer to I guess spring. Ending this winter is daylight savings time.
I know. So I just had this conversation. We are ending that, right? Like this, well, I don't know what you call it, but daylight savings. Okay. So when we spring forward, we will never again fall back. Is that correct?
I don't know about that.
I think that's it.
It passed in the Senate unanimously.
All right.
But then it died in the House. So now we're bringing it back. The bill is being brought up again as daylight savings time is being brought up again. It might have been passed, I think. It may have been passed in Illinois. I'm not sure. But no, I mean, it's being brought up again. Mark Rubio is the Florida
Rubio. I love that. I love that name.
He's the Florida senator that's bringing this. He's calling it the Sunshine Protection Act.
Yeah.
So what that is basically, doing away with daylight savings time. Now, he's still pushing for that, so I don't think it's been passed federally.
Okay.
So we might still...
So maybe I'm just hoping. I just see, really...
You and 75% of the rest of America.
Really?
It's favored at 75%. However, you know what's kind of strange? I was looking this up. Back when daylight savings time was put into place.
Yeah, I was going to ask. I've heard all kinds of rules or reasons for it, but I just don't. It doesn't make any sense.
In the beginning of World War I, because we were trying to stay on European standard time to conserve energy.
So not
it's
farmers.
also having to do with the railroads and things like that. Farmers protested about this. They didn't like this.
Okay,
But
that makes a little more sense.
I think we keep it for farming reasons. So, times have changed.
Yeah.
Pun intended.
I was going to say, literally. Yeah.
But once this was put into place, at one point in time, from the year of 1974 to 1975, it was January 1974 to April of 1975, there was something called the Emergency Daylight Savings Time Energy Conservation Act. It was where we were going to try taking this away.
Okay.
And they did for a period of time, but it was...
Maybe the name was too long to get it to stick.
That's what I'm saying, too. Yeah, that was a little much. But, the government experimented with this.
Okay.
The Congress pulled this experiment early. It was supposed to end in April of 1975, but they pulled it in October 27th of 1974 because it was unfavorable to the public.
Okay.
By public opinion, they just said, especially regarding the winter mornings. So that's where this gets crushed all the time, is winter mornings.
Because it'll technically be darker, right? For longer?
Yep.
If
and
we
the
do,
big argument for the people that are against it is mostly for, I believe, school kids getting up early and in the dark like that.
It messes with them either way, though.
Yes, because we all have what is called a circadian cycle.
Yes.
And everyone feels that when we...
Yeah, it's like when you just start to get used to it. Well, boom, the time changes, and then my kids are crazy, and I'm going crazy, and I just don't see the solid purpose for it anymore.
I see both things.
Yeah?
Like what we just said with the whole looking forward to something.
Yeah.
I look forward to this. It's a different change. We have a different kind of life in the winter and a different kind of life in the spring and summer. So, I don't know. I look forward to the change myself. Is it a pain in the ass? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess now that you say it, it is something I look forward to. Like when I just heard that we were, I just realized we were springing forward pretty quickly. It's a little exciting, But to me, it's because, yay, summer's on its way.
Yes.
Okay. Falling back, the only reason that it excites me is because I get an extra hour of sleep.
Yes.
But I don't really, because everybody's still on the
Everyone's
same.
so messed up with their circadian cycle.
So I think I'm more excited about, my summer life, like you said, than I am
It's
about
just
the
something
time
to
on the
look
clock.
forward to,
Yeah.
I guess.
It'll be interesting to see how that shakes out, though.
The only 2 states that don't observe it right now are Hawaii and Arizona.
Okay.
Parts of Arizona do observe it due to, I think it's a railroad.
Oh, okay.
Illinois was going to be the 3rd state. I don't think that went through. I'm not sure.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah,
We'll
have to
see if we're going to turn our clocks back.
Either way, my kids are going to be animals and beasts anyway. I guess it just doesn't really matter. I like to have, maybe it's something I can blame it on, like the clock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it
I
must
think
be
this
fall
might-
back.
I don't know.
Yeah.
If this is our last time, cheers to that.
I know, right? Either way, spring break is upon us. We will be looking forward to springing forward. Do you do anything for spring break, or do you just like grasp at straws trying to keep Mayla busy?
Grasp at straws,
Yeah,
trying
me
to
too.
keep her busy. My big thing is, like my biggest challenges with, I think, the rest of parents in America is technology. So trying
Yes.
to keep her off the phone, limit the phone time.
Yep.
At the same time, I'm learning to find ways to embrace it.
There are good things about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, like,
do some research.
Yes.
Yeah.
My new tips of technology for parenting. So, I think you saw my Snapchat the other day. On Snapchat, I do not let her have Snapchat, but I let her get on Snapchat every now and again to play with those filters, and she thinks that's so much fun.
She's
this
hilarious.
next time, now I say to her, like, if we're going to play with filters, you have to have a lesson. You are going to tell people a lesson in whatever the history chapter is that you're learning.
Yeah.
And then you
With a
repeat
filter.
it to me in your filter face and voice.
I did see that. That was amazing.
And, it engages her. She sits there and she memorizes whatever it is that she needs to learn.
That's awesome.
All with the power of
And
the
she's
filter.
quite the little actress. I feel like she definitely takes.
I think any kid, once they put a filter on their face, boom, it turns on.
Somebody, they turn into someone else.
So that's a little
so cool.
tidbit. One other thing that I think every parent, and I want to touch on this later, check your kid's browser history and take a screenshot of
Oh,
it
boy.
from year to year. So instead of, how like you measure your kids or you
like on the
collect
wall?
yes.
Yeah.
Or you collect their teeth from the tooth fairy,
Yeah.
all these weird things. So in this day and age, a new thing, I want to start this trend. I think it would be great to screenshot your kids'
What they're
browser
Googling,
history,
what they're looking for.
Googling, and
Ooh,
see how
I'm
it changes
nervous.
from year to year. Oh, it was. I'm going to embarrass her, and I will end it. I will never do this again.
Okay.
But she, we say this, but her browser history said she spelt out the words number 69,
Oh no.
number 420, and then the next thing was drunk elephant. I didn't know what drunk elephant was, but
It's
I had to
beauty.
look. I had to
It's
look it
skincare.
up. I had to look it up.
That's one thing I
afterwards.
know because again, when we were talking about expensive, that's one of my
I'm like,
oldest daughters. Yeah.
The Google history of
that's
this
so sweet.
11-year-old.
I don't even want to do. Mine's probably
Number.
like, how can I make mom go off the rails today? Like what can I do?
You really think
Yeah.
she's Googling that, or she doesn't?
Oh, 100%. She would. Be, no, she's not. She does that naturally, but
So
she
Google,
could be looking
and we
for
can
new ways.
embarrass them
Yes.
later. I can't
wait to do that.
I think it's great. I didn't ever think of it, until Mike had this pulled up, and I said, you obviously don't screenshot it. I'm like, take a picture of it
Yes.
so that
so you can
save that
You
for
can
later.
measure it. Oh, that's kind of sweet, but it is kind of nerve wracking. We'll see. Well, either way, great tips and Godspeed this week. Yeah,
have fun on spring break.
right.
Yeah.
That's what they say
Good
to
luck.
do. Yeah.
Spring break.
Yeah, I know. All right. Well, good luck to all you other parents out there this week. For now, that does it for today's coffee talk. It was great chatting.
Nice. Thank you.
See ya.
Muddy River News. Our home, our news.